Hi guys, okay, today I want to talk to you about anger. So I had at least two messages about people asking me to talk about anger and how to deal with it. And then today it's came up again because I was interviewed on BBC Radio today here in the UK, and one of the topics was about anger. There was a story in the press that said anger kills. Slightly dramatic, but I get where they're going with it, saying that people have increased levels of stress and depression and heart attacks, all not great stuff, based around being angry. So first off, I would say we all get angry. Anger is a normal emotion. It's not something that you're never going to feel, and if you didn't ever feel it, that wouldn't be a good thing either. So if you are feeling a level of anger at something, it's not just to squash it down and never feel it again and just brush it under the carpet kind of thing, because actually what will happen is then that you won't explode and be angry at the world. You will implode and feel rubbish and probably have a heart attack or just something else hideous. So it's about learning to dissipate that anger, trying to get rid of the anger and work out where it's coming from. So it's a bit of self-reflection is going to have to go on, which is kind of always the way you need to start something. But you need to go, okay, am I getting angry too much? You know, we all get angry at time to time, but if you feel that you have a short fuse, as they say, then you need to work out where that's coming from. Because the thing is with anger is that it's very rarely, if ever, coming from the thing that we direct the anger, the person, the thing, the situation that we direct the anger at. Very rarely. It is usually just coming from us and the story we tell ourselves about that situation. Okay? So for example, my anger points, the times when I know that I can get angry, definitely in the car, bit of road rage, irritated at other people's incompetence, perceived incompetence. I'm sure there's plenty of people on the road getting angry at me. And as a mom, I'm sure there's many parents out there that will agree, our children know how to really push our buttons and we love them, but children are children and they're infuriating some of the time, and that's okay. But most of the time it's how we deal with it that will define how angry we get or we don't. And then we've got our partners or our loved ones, because the people closest to us, we know how to wind them up, don't we? And when we feel rubbish, it's very easy to attack those closest to us. It's rubbish and we shouldn't do it, but that's what happens. It tends to happen. So I want you first to look at the areas of your life where you feel that you are prone to anger, and then you need to look at how you can alleviate that anger, how you can start to slow it down. And I think it's first recognizing that you have a part to play in it and you decide how you react to any situation. You do have choice in that. You know, it might be easy to go from, a situation happens and you go straight to anger. It's kind of easy, isn't it? And I had a lesson of this recently, and you'll know, anybody who follows the story of me on here will see that when my daughter Brooke went viral, which is crazy, and I had a lot of awful messages, really goading type of messages created just to get a reaction. The ones that were really overtly like that were much easier to deal with because you could go crazy online person, but there was a few that did get to me. There was a few, and they were mostly when it was women, I have to admit. And one particular lady, I went onto her profile and she called my daughter nuts and names. I'm not going to repeat her name or what she said. And when I went on her page, she was a nurse. She had kids. And I have to admit, it really angered me. And I'd just come back from a meditation class when I looked at the message. So I should have been all calm and lovely, but I wasn't. And what I had to do in order to alleviate that anger was I had to look at her and think, what a terrible shame. She has a lot going on in her world, and I feel sorry for her, because you don't spout out really disgusting, awful things about a child if you're totally fine with yourself. So I had to have a level of pity that she must have real unrest in her life, and that helped to alleviate some of my anger. So sometimes it's looking at the other person who might be saying something hateful or awful and going, oh, okay, they can't have a good life. I feel sad for them, and giving them a level of empathy and pity. That can stop you from feeling really angry about a situation. The other time is just to look at how you're feeling. If you're not feeling great in yourself and then you're reacting to a situation because of that, then you have to take some responsibility for your anger. You have to take some responsibility for what you're putting out in the world. And there are many times when I will do something in temper, think about it for a second, and then realise actually that wasn't acceptable, and that was said in temper and nothing else. So it's noticing that. And I think the main thing is to remember that you are human. You will make mistakes. You will sometimes fly off the handle, lose your temper, but it's how you come back from that and what you do, firstly, to make amends if you've upset anybody, but what you learn from that situation, what you learn, how you will do it differently next time, how you will face that challenge again but with less anger. And then lastly, I would say that using meditation is a really good way to be more introspective and calmer. And it's just when you live a more mindful life and you are more present in your day, you stop things getting to that crazy anger stage, because you notice it as it's building up and you think, whoa, I need to take a stop, I need to calm down, and that will help you moving forward. So I hope this has helped. I hope it's helped the people that sent me that message to talk about it. And if you have anything that you'd like me to talk about, then just post it below and I will get on it as soon as I can. Speak to you all soon. Peace.